Boop. Well, hello there. Firstly, I need to get this out of the way. I did not just buy the Vision Pro to play Genshin Impact. That would be a bit too silly and excessive. Although still less money than many people have spent on Genshin itself, which is sad, but anyways. No, the main reason I bought the Vision Pro was because I'm very interested in VR and the AR category, which, yes, Apple doesn't want to call this a VR device, they call it a spatial computer, but it's a VR and AR device, and it's a very advanced, very expensive form of a VR AR device that I wanted to try. And on top of that, I have a close friend of mine that I talk with on a daily basis who worked on this device as a software engineer for like 5 years. So, I had more of a personal investment in this specific device. And the fact that I was just already passionate about VR and AR in general that made me want to buy this. Fiat. Despite the fact that I have a lot of reasons that I want to use this product, playing Genshin on it was one of them, because Apple specifically advertised this thing as being compatible with iPad apps. I believe their words were something along the lines of, it's compatible with over 1 million iPad apps. So yeah, playing Genshin on it was one of the potential benefits, like I can have an expandable screen of Genshin anywhere I want, wow. Yes, that's stupid, but I make Genshin content, so sue me for wanting to play Genshin on a device that I was already interested in. Enough rambling, let's actually jump into the Vision Pro and see how Genshin works on it. That's the point of this stupid video. Alright, so here we are in the Vision Pro, and in the footage you are seeing, some of it is probably going to look blurry around the edges, because basically the Vision Pro only renders in high quality what I am actually looking at, therefore the things I am not looking at, the edges, are going to look kind of blurry. That's normal. To me it looks perfectly high quality, and I'm sitting on top of a mountain here. Wow. And the way you navigate around the Vision Pro is just by looking at something, so I can look at the bar on the bottom, and then I can wave my hand around, and whee, look at that. That's how you use this device, and then I can expand and shrink windows as need be. So, I'm going to position this just like that. We're in the App Store here, and we're going to search for Genshin. Genshin is not an official Vision Pro app, obviously, but Genshin is an iPad app, and Apple, of course, does advertise that you can just install iPad apps on the Vision Pro. So we just have to select this little tab over here, and there's no Genshin Impact. Honkai Star Rail is here, Hoyo vs. Other main game. Tower Fantasy is here for some reason. Where's Genshin? Why is Genshin not here? It doesn't even make sense that Star Rail is available on this, because Star Rail doesn't support a controller, so like Star Rail, since you can't connect a controller, you have to like just do this, which is stupid, but I don't know, I guess we'll try Star Rail too, but this is not what this video is supposed to be. I didn't buy this thing to play Star Rail, I bought it to play Genshin. Before you go and leave this video, I do have a solution to be able to play Genshin on the Vision Pro. It's probably going to be janky, but I think it's going to work, probably. So I will play Genshin on the Vision Pro in this video. Don't you worry, okay? Before we get into that though, I gotta rant a little bit about the app situation on this device. You might have heard something about, like, say, Netflix is the same situation as Genshin is, wherein the developer has chosen to opt out of compatibility for the Vision Pro. And having used this thing for only a week, I can already tell you that compatible apps oftentimes don't function very nicely, so I don't really blame developers for opting out. It kind of makes sense. It is very weird that Star Rail is available to download on this, but Genshin is not. In the Vision Pro itself here, Apple very clearly delineates compatible apps in specifically this compatible apps folder. So this folder is where all your apps that are just your iPad apps running on the Vision Pro itself. And these apps don't work as well. The most obvious example I could use is actually Discord here. So this is my Discord server, and I can like navigate it around pretty okay, but there's no like UI feedback for what I'm looking at, and it can be a bit inconsistent to have to type and like interact with this application because it wasn't made for the Vision Pro, right? So I could understand why developers want to opt out of compatibility with the Vision Pro, because they don't want users downloading something on Vision Pro having a not good experience. The problem I have is that Genshin is a game that you could download and just connect a controller, and then you just, instead of waving around your hands, you just use your controller. I know I'm stressing the controller a bit a lot, but like that's my point. Is like it can just run as if you're playing it on. It don't make sense to me. I just want to be able to like have this headset, play Genshin, and I can have a 50-inch Genshin Impact window wherever I am. Is that so hard? Is that too much to ask for? I am confused why Hoyoverse is not allowed Genshin, but has allowed Star Rail on it. But I actually have more of a gripe with Apple than anything else. Apple is the one that specifically advertised this as compatible with iPad apps, right? Like, there's nothing in the device itself that would make you think, oh, I can't just download any iPad app on this device. So when I see Apple advertising it as compatible with iPad apps, that tells me, the customer that bought this $4,000 headset, oh, I can play Genshin Impact on it, or I can download Netflix on it. Neither of these things you can do right now. In my opinion, since Apple advertised that this device can run iPad apps, which is to say that it can run Genshin on the hardware technical level, I should be able to download Genshin anyways against developers' wishes, and this includes apps like Netflix too. I'm fine with it throwing a bunch of warnings at me saying, oh, the developer doesn't recommend you use this app on this device, blah, 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 blah. And, it doesn't allow me to post a review of the app or anything because of that. But I should be able to do it. But alas, the way of Apple and all their hardware is to not allow the user, me, to use the product I bought the way I want to use it. Instead, I have to use it the way that Apple envisions they use it. Oh well. Alrighty, rant over. Let's actually play Genshin on the Vision Pro. My solution for this is very simple. So, the Vision Pro has a feature called Mac Virtual Display, which lets me connect my MacBook right here to the Vision Pro, and then, hey, look at that. Now I have a floating window where I can use, just a normal Mac desktop. Hey! Alright, so now we're in immersive mode again, because why would you not? And look, now I can resize and I can have a tiny window for some reason I wanted, or a big 50-inch screen. What a world. That's exactly what I want. Now we just have to play Genshin on my MacBook, right? This does have a few downsides, notably that I can't, gaze and pinch to control the windows on anything running on the MacBook itself. So you can see the YouTube window over here. I can't do this to control it. I have to use the MacBook trackpad, which is to say I'm just using the Vision Pro as a virtual display here. So let's just go download Genshin on the Vision Pro. Simple enough. Ah, crap. It's not available on Mac, is it? So yeah, Genshin is not available on Mac. That's a problem, because you can't do a virtual display from a PC that can run Genshin to the Vision Pro. Apple only lets you use a Mac for that. Surprise. But wait, of course there is a way to do a virtual display of your Windows PC in the Vision Pro, and that's with remote desktop software. So there's this awesome piece of low latency remote desktop software called Parsec that I've installed on the MacBook, as well as on the Vision Pro. Sorry, not on the Vision Pro, on my PC. And the reason I am using Parsec for the purposes of trying to play Genshin on the Vision Pro is simply because Parsec is very low latency. It's actually kind of made to be able to play games when you're remoting into different computers. To reduce latency as much as possible, I'm going to go connect the MacBook to a wired internet, as well as connect my PC to wired internet, and, do a whole mess of cables, so, I'll BRB and do that, so we can actually get Genshin running on this thing. Alright, there's the MacBook display. We've got my Windows computer and an absolute rat's nest of cables, just as Apple intended. Parsec is running on my desktop. Parsec is running on the Vision Pro. We hit connect. Blam, look at that. And now I've got a desktop window. There's my computer. And there's my computer. It's the same thing, but now I can have, a floating window. Look at that. Absolute magic. We have my PC running on the Vision Pro, and we are launching Genshin, so you can see it is on the Vision Pro here, and it is on my computer at the same time because it's technically running on the computer. But we can move it around, we can move the mouse cursor, it seems to work. Where's my controller? I do have a wireless controller at the ready. Absolute. So much of a mess of cables. This is such an ugly setup for this. But anyways, let me plaster Genshin on my bedroom wall here. Look at that, beautiful. That's like a 60-inch television. We gotta use the MacBook to launch into the game, and then I'm going to connect the controller, and once I have the controller connected, should be able to, play it like normal, like you could theoretically if it just ran directly. Yeah, all right, wonderful. So I'm using I gotta go into the settings and connect the controller properly. But hey, it works. It is a little bit latency, so like if I hit here, let me like raise up and see. So I'll hit jump. Yeah, there's a bit of latency to say the least, but it's working. I have Genshin running on the Vision Pro. What a world. Is it kludgy? Yes, but it is working. This is absolutely playable. It looks like the game is running at it feels like the game is running at a lower frame rate than it is, on my actual computer over there. But hey, look, it's doing the thing. I can put it on the ceiling if I want. I can do this. I can do this for so. I don't know why I would, but I could play in a tiny little window if I feel like it. One immediate issue, which you probably can't even hear it very well, is the audio is actually still coming from the MacBook speakers, because for some reason Apple's virtual display feature doesn't send the audio in the Vision Pro itself, it just plays out of the MacBook. And that causes situations like this to happen.
Okay, that seems... With no screen, that's even more strange now. I hate it.
Keyboard, switch to controller, blam, there we go. Got my PlayStation controller connected, except for it's not working. Classic. Why does it not work? It's connected to my computer. Well, see, this is an example of this being janky, and now I can't even do anything in Genshin. I will be right back. Yay, there we go, I fixed it, I have a controller. I used a different controller and I just connected it with a wire. Yay, more wires, that's what I needed, more wires. And so, anyways, it's not the most seamless of experiences, but it's working. I can just use, the audio's coming from the MacBook, which is so awful. It sounds terrible compared to what everything else sounds like in the Vision Pro. But anyways, it functions, I can play, let's just go do something. I wonder if I get the award for the dumbest thing to try to do in the Vision Pro. Why is my mouse pointer stuck in there? Can that go away? I can't get the mouse pointer to go away. Well, oh well, that's just gonna be stuck there. I know it's gonna be annoying to you, maybe it's gonna be annoying to me as well. It's really funny just looking over here and seeing, my computer running it like normal through the pass-through and then having the actual window, well, no, okay, sorry, this is like the actual window, technically, and then this is the fake window. But this looks like the real window to me because I can do this with it. But anywho's, this probably doesn't have that much of an effect to you watching the video, but like, in 3D space, this is like, wow. Gimme, what, why? Okay, I hate, I'm not used to playing on controller. No, come here. Why? Okay, there we go, I got it. Yeah, I'm used to playing on mouse and keyboard, not this mess. I can tell you if I take off my headset, right? So if I'm looking at this scene in the headset, and I look at it on the computer, but like removing the headset, not keeping it on like I am right now, my PC looks better. I want to be clear. But it doesn't look that much better. But this has the advantage of being able to, theoretically, if I didn't have to do this jank setup, if it could actually run on the device, I could take, this setup anywhere. I could go traveling, I could do this on a plane. Like, this is not the greatest experience because of the latency, I can tell you that. But it is still playable, and this is a proof of concept that makes me really, really want Genshin to actually run directly on the device. But I do think this might look better than if it was actually running on the device directly, because the mobile version, the iPad app version that could run directly on the Vision Pro, if Hoyoverse made it available, would be limited by the processing power of the Vision Pro itself, versus this solution is using the full processing power of my desktop. So I don't know. That it's just, my point is like, it might actually look worse if it might have less latency, but theoretically look worse because of lower graphical settings, is basically all I'm saying. Alright, let's see how combat goes. I mean, well, things are dying. It's just not that these enemies are particularly hard in this situation for me, but nonetheless. Oh god, okay, aiming mode is not great, but I can still do it, technically. Yeah, it really does feel like the game is running probably at 30 FPS versus the 60 I'm used to, on top of the additional latency. But it's playable. I feel like this is like it says I have 46 milliseconds to the server. This feels like an experience that's probably equivalent to if you're used to playing Genshin. I'm gonna turn down the volume. If you're used to playing Genshin with, I don't know, 400 milliseconds of lag instead of 47 like I have, then I think this would probably be the experience I'm having right now. Like, there's a noticeable delay, but it is playable. You know what? Let's go put some background music on. No, I can't do like, I'd love to play all my favorite songs for you, but I'm just going to go and select some Hoyoverse music to play in the background instead here. Alright, there we go. I shuffled Fontaine soundtrack music to play in the background while I do some other stuff here. I think the overall entire experience of doing this is, the worst aspect of this is definitely the audio. It's just not great. Alright, let's see if I can handle Abyss. This is the hardest content in the game for anyone that is not familiar with Genshin that might be watching this video. This is going to be worse. I can already tell you the latency is definitely a problem here, but I think it's doable. Yeah, I mean, I'm able to do things. Now, there are harder enemies where the latency issue is going to become more of a problem because these enemies will kill me very fast. Blam. Oh, well, yep, there we go. Like I said, kill me very fast. Unsurprisingly, dying is a slight issue when you have half a second of input latency. I don't know exactly, I haven't measured the input latency to be clear, but it's large enough to be problematic. I need to prove that it's worth it to buy a Vision Pro. To buy a Vision Pro to play Genshin. It's not. That's not the point of this video. This is stupid. Don't do this. But I want to do it because I don't know, it's fun or something. Die please. Die please. There we go. I got it. Honestly, the overall experience of playing on the Vision Pro here is not that dissimilar to my experience playing on mobile in general, where you have, imprecise control of the ability to do things. It feels almost exactly the same, where it's just like, in mobile, it's just the inaccuracy of touch inputs that make it a little bit hard to do things. On the Vision Pro here, it's hard because of the latency, which could be a solved issue if, I could just use the app itself instead of doing this mess. But anyways, we'll be fine. Ow. Alright, there we go. There's the first chamber done in the Vision Pro. What a world. Don't kill me. Can I switch my character? There we go. Okay. A little bit of latency issues there. But the enemies are going to be dead shortly, so it doesn't matter. Blam. We got it. We got it. We got it. Oh, no, he's not dead yet. Oh, no. Die, please. There we go. I got him. No problem. And blam. There we go. I can even do precise things like that in this. Is it ideal again? No. But I'm clearing the hardest content in the game. No problem here. Uh-oh. He just died. It's fine. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. No, 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 no. And there we go. Told you, no problem. So there we go. It's playable enough that I could 36 star the Abyss, even if it's not ideal. There's Genshin Impact on the Vision Pro. Alright. All in all, would this be my preferred way to play Genshin? Because, it's really cool being this adaptable sized Genshin window anywhere I want. No, this is definitely not my preferred way. The reason being is it's just worse than playing on my PC normally. This setup with remote desktop basically requires being at home to get playable latency in the first place. And if I'm at home, I'd rather just play on my 4K 42-inch OLED monitor on my desk, which looks better than when I'm playing on the Vision Pro. But if I could run Genshin directly on the Vision Pro itself and then use this when traveling, I think that'd be super cool. Highly, highly unnecessary, to be clear, because this thing costs $4,000. It's very dumb to just buy the Vision Pro to play Genshin Impact, obviously. The idea of being able to travel and have this, device that can be screens everywhere, iPad apps everywhere, and just play Genshin like in any way I want, anywhere I want, like, regardless. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And of course, that use case is not something unique to Genshin. That's any app that can run on this device. I do hope I am able to run Genshin directly on the Vision Pro in the future. And at that point, I'd say buying the Vision Pro to play Genshin Impact is slightly less stupid, at the very least, because it's much more valuable than spending $4,000 in Genshin itself. It's more valuable than gambling. Wow. But right now, what the Vision Pro does for me is it's just a very expensive toy that doesn't even allow me to play with it the way that I want to play with it. At least without doing very janky things like I did in this video with the remote setups and blah, 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 blah. As much passion as I have for technology and VR devices in general, I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this thing yet, because it just doesn't offer $4,000 of utility at this time. It really doesn't, and it has first-gen product problems. If you've looked at any other people reviewing and talking about this device, a lot of people will say it's like, it's a taste of the future of computing, and it does really feel that way. It feels like this thing is going to be capable of so much more in the future, but right now, it's mostly just a 2D entertainment device, which is not worth the price. It's cool, it's really fun, but it's not $4,000 fun. But regardless of whether or not I keep the Vision Pro, I am going to really, really look forward to seeing all the new ways people can think of interacting with a computer in this way, past really dumb things like me playing Genshin Impact on it. I want to see developers create completely new experiences that were not possible before. That's what I like about VR and AR. I don't like the idea of just eternally only buying expensive headsets that are strapped to your face and are slightly uncomfortable just to play Genshin Impact. That's silly. I want these devices to do more, and I don't know, I just wanted to share something I bought recently and a dumb way I'm trying to have fun with it for you, because that's what the internet is for. I think it's about sharing passions. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see me do more bullcrap like this. Maybe I can transition my channel to not just making Genshin content even. That would be nice.